Right. Script paper. Hi there. This is Ryan from bettertattooing.com. Today we're going to be answering a question. Do you check your tattoo needles before you use them? Alright, now that that's over, we can answer this question. Do you check your needles? Some people do, some people don't. And I don't understand why, because there's blind faith, it seems, in our industry now, that all these needles that come are just going to perform the task that they've been set out to do, which isn't quite right. Back in the day, we used to make our own needles. You're able to visually check every single one of them before you put them into a sterilizing cycle so that you could use them on a client. Nowadays, they come blister packed. It's all fancy. They come with a date, making sure everything's good, and not too many people actually check them. So, how do you check your needles? How? Easy. We get something called the jeweler's loop. Jeweler's loop, right? It's this small thing. Let's just do this. Let's see. I can't multitask like I've said so many times before. It's a small thing. It's got a magnifying glass inside of it. This thing will whip out and it'll show you when you hold a needle underneath this eye loop what's going on with your needles. Now, if your needles, when you hold them underneath your eye loop, look like that, you shouldn't tattoo someone with it, should ya? It's really simple. Get a jeweler's loop, check your needles. This has to be a short. I mean, like, trusting a company to make sure that they hand check every single one of your needles that are made is ignorant for the most part. You know you're going to be working on someone's skin. It only takes 2 seconds to do it. This doesn't matter if you have needle on bar or if you've got a cartridge. Take it, open it up if it's a cartridge, hold the needle up in the packaging, the blister packaging, use an eye loop, take a look at it, take it out of the packaging, look at it, make sure that the needles are on the right way. I've seen many times with many companies that make needles professionally that you'll have one needle on there that ain't got an end on it that's sharp. That's fun. Could you imagine being tattooed with that? It'll turn it into a burger mess. The other thing you can do is pretty simple. Might as well put that jeweler's loop back up on there. It's a jeweler's loop. Jeweler's loop. The other one is going to be drag it. The drag it method is you take your hand, that is gloved, right before you do your tattoo. Sterile gloves, hopefully, all you bad boys out there. Run it backwards across your gloved hand. If you want to as well, you've got sterile gauze, sterile paper towel. Run it backwards. Don't dig the needles into it. Run it backwards across it. If it snags up on it and it pulls onto something, you'll have a burr on the end of your needle. What's a burr? Normally needles are going to have a sharp point, right? A burr can be a bent tip. Sometimes this will also happen if you're like working, needle's a little bit dirty, you decide to rinse them off, blah, blah, blah. You're kind of rushed. You got your ink cap. It's got ink on it, and you bottom out. We've all done it. You get to hear that lovely thunk sound or bruh sound. Ink splashes everywhere. It turns into a goddamn mess. What happens is it bends the tip of the needle. When you go to use it on the skin again, it just punches holes in the people's skin rather than going into it nicely. Drag it, jeweler's loop, it works. If you ever sit there and you do bottom out on a cup, just like needles are really cheap nowadays. I use super cheap needles to do all my work, and if it's 5, 10, 15 cents, $1, if you know that you're going to have to change it out because you dummied up, you didn't turn off your machine before you dipped for your pigment, all you pros out there know what I'm talking about, then of course, yeah, you should change out your needles. Your clients are paying top dollar for a lifetime of work. You need to care as much as they do. Anywho, this is Ryan from bettertattooing.com telling you, check your needles. Until next time, I'm out of here.